In our pursuit of a better life, it is essential to adopt a mindset that enables us to navigate challenges and find contentment. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, offers valuable teachings that can inspire and guide us in this journey. By understanding and implementing the principles of Stoicism, we can transform our lives and cultivate a sense of inner peace and resilience. In this video, we will explore 10 things you should stop doing for a better life, drawing upon the wisdom of Stoicism. Let's delve into these teachings and discover how they can empower us to lead a more fulfilling existence. Number 1. Procrastinating. Procrastination is a common habit that many of us struggle with. It is the act of delaying or postponing tasks that require our attention. While it may provide temporary relief, it ultimately hinders our progress and prevents us from reaching our full potential. Stoicism offers valuable insights on how to overcome procrastination and cultivate a more proactive mindset. One of the fundamental teachings of Stoicism is the recognition of the fleeting nature of time. The Stoics believe that time is a precious resource, and wasting it through procrastination goes against living a virtuous life. To combat procrastination, we can incorporate Stoic principles into our daily lives. Firstly, practicing mindfulness and self-awareness allows us to understand the underlying reasons for our procrastination. Are we avoiding a task due to fear of failure or perfectionism? By identifying these underlying emotions, we can address them and develop strategies to overcome them. Another Stoic technique is the concept of negative visualization. This involves contemplating the potential consequences of not taking action and visualizing the regret we may experience in the future. By vividly imagining the negative outcomes, we can motivate ourselves to take immediate action and avoid falling into the trap of procrastination. Additionally, setting clear goals and breaking them down into smaller, manageable tasks can help combat procrastination. The Stoics emphasize the importance of focusing on what is within our control. While we may not have control over external circumstances or outcomes, we do have control over our actions and how we allocate our time. Practicing discipline and developing a routine can also be effective in overcoming procrastination. By creating structured schedules and adhering to them, we can establish a sense of accountability and reduce the temptation to procrastinate. This aligns with the Stoic notion of living in accordance with nature and embracing self-discipline as a means to achieve personal growth. It is crucial to cultivate a growth mindset and embrace the concept of progress over perfection. The Stoics believed in continuous self-improvement and learning from failures. Instead of fearing mistakes or setbacks, view them as opportunities for growth and development. By adopting this mindset, we can overcome the fear of failure that often leads to procrastination. So, procrastination is a detrimental habit that hinders our personal growth and fulfillment. Through the teachings of Stoicism, we can develop strategies to overcome procrastination and cultivate a proactive mindset. By embracing mindfulness, setting clear goals, practicing discipline, and adopting a growth mindset, we can break free from the cycle of procrastination and live a more purposeful and fulfilling life. Number 2. Negative self-talk. The way we speak to ourselves has a significant impact on our self-esteem, confidence, and overall well-being. Negative self-talk refers to the habit of engaging in self-critical and self-defeating thoughts. It is a destructive pattern that undermines our self-worth and hinders our ability to lead a fulfilling life. Stoicism provides valuable insights on how to overcome negative self-talk and cultivate a more compassionate and empowering inner dialogue. The Stoics believed in the power of reason and the ability to control our thoughts. By harnessing our cognitive faculties, we can challenge and reframe negative self-talk. One of the key principles of Stoicism is the recognition of our own inherent worth as human beings. Stoics emphasize the importance of self-acceptance and understanding that our value does not depend on external achievements or validation from others. By internalizing this belief, we can counteract negative self-talk by reminding ourselves of our intrinsic worth and embracing self-compassion. Another Stoic technique to combat negative self-talk is the practice of self-reflection and mindfulness. By observing our thoughts without judgment, we can become aware of the negative patterns and beliefs that contribute to negative self-talk. Through this awareness, we can challenge these thoughts and replace them with more positive and empowering affirmations. Stoicism also encourages us to focus on what is within our control. While we may not have control over external circumstances or the opinions of others, we have complete control over our own thoughts and reactions. By shifting our attention towards our internal locus of control, we can choose to reject negative self-talk and instead cultivate a mindset of self-empowerment and resilience. Additionally, surrounding ourselves with positive influences can have a profound impact on our inner dialogue. The Stoics recognize the importance of our social environment in shaping our thoughts and behaviors. By seeking out supportive and uplifting relationships, we can create a positive feedback loop that reinforces positive self-talk and fosters personal growth. Practicing gratitude can be a powerful antidote to negative self-talk. The Stoics emphasize the importance of appreciating the present moment and focusing on the blessings in our lives. By cultivating a mindset of gratitude, we can shift our perspective from self-criticism to self-acknowledgement and appreciation. Negative self-talk is a harmful habit that undermines our self-esteem and well-being. Through the teachings of Stoicism, we can develop strategies to challenge and overcome negative self-talk. By cultivating self-acceptance, mindfulness, focusing on what is within our control, seeking positive influences, and practicing gratitude, we can foster a more compassionate and empowering inner dialogue that supports our personal growth and happiness. Number 3. Dwelling on the past. The past is a powerful force that can shape our present and future. However, dwelling on the past can be detrimental to our mental health and hinder our ability to move forward. Stoicism offers valuable insights on how to overcome the habit of dwelling on the past and cultivate a more present-focused mindset. One of the central tenets of Stoicism is the recognition of the fleeting nature of time. The Stoics believe that the present moment is the only reality, and dwelling on the past or worrying about the future is a waste of energy. By embracing this philosophy, we can learn to appreciate the present moment and focus on what is within our control. Another Stoic technique to overcome dwelling on the past is the practice of negative visualization. This involves contemplating worst-case scenarios and visualizing potential negative outcomes. By vividly imagining these scenarios, we can develop a sense of acceptance and resilience towards adversity. This practice can also help us let go of past regrets and focus on the present moment. Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of self-reflection and mindfulness. By observing our thoughts without judgment, we can become aware of the negative patterns and beliefs that contribute to dwelling on the past. Through this awareness, we can challenge these thoughts and replace them with more positive and empowering affirmations. Additionally, practicing gratitude can be an effective way to overcome dwelling on the past. The Stoics recognize the importance of appreciating the present moment and focusing on the blessings in our lives. By cultivating a mindset of gratitude, we can shift our perspective from regret and nostalgia to appreciation and contentment. Forgiveness is a crucial aspect of letting go of the past. The Stoics believed in the importance of forgiveness as a means of freeing ourselves from negative emotions and moving forward towards personal growth. By practicing forgiveness towards ourselves and others, we can release ourselves from the burdens of resentment and regret. Dwelling on the past is a common habit that can hinder our personal growth and prevent us from living in the present moment. Through the teachings of Stoicism, we can develop strategies to overcome this habit and cultivate a more present-focused mindset. By embracing self-reflection, practicing gratitude, and letting go of negative emotions, we can move forward towards a more fulfilling life. Number 4. Comparing yourself to others. In today's interconnected world, it is easy to fall into the trap of comparing ourselves to others. Whether it's in terms of achievements, appearance, or social status, constant comparison can lead to feelings of inadequacy and dissatisfaction. Stoicism offers valuable insights on how to overcome the habit of comparing ourselves to others and cultivate a more self-accepting mindset. One of the core teachings of Stoicism is the recognition of our own unique journey. The Stoics believe that each individual has their own path in life, and comparing ourselves to others only distracts us from our own growth and fulfillment. By embracing this philosophy, we can shift our focus from external validation to internal self-acceptance. Stoicism encourages us to focus on what is within our control. While we have no control over the circumstances or achievements of others, we have complete control over our own thoughts, actions, and progress. By directing our energy towards our own personal growth and development, we can break free from the cycle of comparison and find contentment in our own journey. Another Stoic technique to overcome comparison is the practice of negative visualization. Instead of comparing ourselves to those who seem more successful or accomplished, we can imagine the challenges and struggles they may have faced along their path. This practice cultivates empathy and helps us recognize that everyone has their own set of difficulties and obstacles to overcome. Additionally, cultivating self-compassion is essential in overcoming the habit of comparison. The Stoics emphasize the importance of treating ourselves with kindness and understanding. By practicing self-compassion, we can acknowledge our own worth and celebrate our unique strengths and qualities. Stoicism also teaches us to focus on internal virtues rather than external achievements. Instead of measuring our self-worth based on societal standards or the accomplishments of others, we can shift our attention towards cultivating qualities such as wisdom, integrity, and resilience. By valuing these internal virtues, we can develop a sense of self-worth that is independent of external comparisons. Comparing ourselves to others is a destructive habit that undermines our self-esteem and hinders our personal growth. Through the teachings of Stoicism, we can learn to embrace our own unique journey, focus on what is within our control, cultivate self-compassion, and value internal virtues. By doing so, we can break free from the cycle of comparison and find fulfillment in our own path. Number 5. Overthinking. Overthinking is a common tendency that many of us struggle with. It involves excessively analyzing and dwelling on past events, future possibilities, or even present situations. This habit can lead to stress, anxiety, and a lack of clarity in decision-making. Stoicism offers valuable insights on how to overcome overthinking and cultivate a more present-focused and balanced mindset. One of the core teachings of Stoicism is the practice of focusing on what is within our control. Overthinking often stems from a desire to control outcomes or predict the future. The Stoics believe that we should focus on our own thoughts, actions, and attitudes, rather than being consumed by external circumstances. By redirecting our attention to what we can control, we can break free from the cycle of overthinking and find a sense of peace and acceptance. Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of living in the present moment. The Stoics believe that the past is beyond our control and the future is uncertain. By focusing on the present moment, we can fully engage with our current experiences and make the most of each situation. This practice helps to reduce overthinking by grounding us in the reality of the present rather than getting lost in hypothetical scenarios. Another Stoic technique to overcome overthinking is the practice of negative visualization. This involves contemplating worst-case scenarios and visualizing potential challenges or obstacles. By mentally preparing ourselves for adversity, we can develop a sense of resilience and reduce excessive worry about future outcomes. This practice helps to shift our focus from overthinking to proactive problem-solving. Stoicism also encourages us to cultivate a sense of perspective and detachment. Overthinking often arises from attaching excessive importance to certain outcomes or situations. By adopting a more detached perspective, we can recognize that many things are beyond our control and that excessive rumination serves no productive purpose. This shift in mindset allows us to let go of overthinking and approach situations with greater equanimity. Practicing mindfulness and self-awareness can be effective in overcoming overthinking. By observing our thoughts without judgment, we can become aware of the patterns and triggers that lead to overthinking. This awareness empowers us to consciously redirect our attention and break free from the cycle of rumination. Overthinking is a habit that hinders our ability to live in the present moment and make clear decisions. Through the teachings of Stoicism, we can learn to focus on what is within our control, embrace the present moment, practice negative visualization for resilience, cultivate detachment, and develop mindfulness and self-awareness. By incorporating these principles into our lives, we can overcome overthinking and find greater peace of mind. Number 6. Seeking validation from others. Many of us seek validation from others as a means of feeling accepted and valued. However, this habit can be detrimental to our self-esteem and prevent us from living authentically. Stoicism offers valuable insights on how to overcome the habit of seeking validation from others and cultivate a more self-reliant and confident mindset. One of the core teachings of Stoicism is the recognition of our own inherent worth as human beings. The Stoics believe that each individual has their own unique value, and that this value does not depend on external achievements or validation from others. By embracing this philosophy, we can shift our focus from seeking external validation to cultivating self-acceptance and self-worth. Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of focusing on internal virtues rather than external achievements. Instead of measuring our self-worth based on societal standards or the opinions of others, we can shift our attention towards cultivating qualities such as wisdom, integrity, and resilience. By valuing these internal virtues, we can develop a sense of self-worth that is independent of external validation. Another Stoic technique to overcome the habit of seeking validation from others is the practice of negative visualization. This involves contemplating worst-case scenarios and visualizing potential negative outcomes. By vividly imagining these scenarios, we can develop a sense of acceptance and resilience towards adversity. This practice can also help us let go of the need for external validation and focus on our own internal sense of worth. Stoicism also encourages us to cultivate a sense of detachment from external outcomes and opinions. Seeking validation from others often arises from attaching excessive importance to certain outcomes or situations. By adopting a more detached perspective, we can recognize that external validation is fleeting and that true fulfillment comes from within. Practicing self-reflection and mindfulness can be effective in overcoming the habit of seeking validation from others. By observing our thoughts without judgment, we can become aware of the patterns and triggers that lead to seeking external validation. Through this awareness, we can consciously redirect our attention towards cultivating self-acceptance and self-worth. Seeking validation from others is a habit that undermines our self-esteem and prevents us from living authentically. Through the teachings of Stoicism, we can learn to embrace our own inherent worth, focus on internal virtues, cultivate resilience towards adversity, adopt a more detached perspective, and practice self-reflection and mindfulness. By doing so, we can break free from the cycle of seeking external validation and find fulfillment in our own sense of self-worth. Number 7. Holding on to grudges. Holding on to grudges is a common habit that can cause resentment, anger, and bitterness. It can also prevent us from moving forward and finding closure. Stoicism offers valuable insights on how to overcome the habit of holding on to grudges and cultivate a more forgiving and compassionate mindset. One of the core teachings of Stoicism is the recognition of our own impermanence. The Stoics believe that life is fleeting and that holding on to grudges only wastes precious time and energy. By embracing this philosophy, we can learn to let go of past grievances and focus on the present moment. Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of forgiveness as a means of freeing ourselves from negative emotions. By practicing forgiveness towards ourselves and others, we can release ourselves from the burdens of resentment and regret. This practice cultivates a sense of compassion and empathy towards others, as well as a greater sense of inner peace and acceptance. Another Stoic technique to overcome the habit of holding on to grudges is the practice of negative visualization. This involves contemplating worst-case scenarios and visualizing potential negative outcomes. By vividly imagining these scenarios, we can develop a sense of acceptance and resilience towards adversity. This practice can also help us let go of past grievances and focus on the present moment. Stoicism also encourages us to cultivate a sense of perspective and detachment. Holding on to grudges often arises from attaching excessive importance to certain outcomes or situations. By adopting a more detached perspective, we can recognize that many things are beyond our control and that excessive rumination serves no productive purpose. This shift in mindset allows us to let go of past grievances and approach situations with greater equanimity. Practicing gratitude can be an effective way to overcome the habit of holding on to grudges. The Stoics recognize the importance of appreciating the present moment and focusing on the blessings in our lives. By cultivating a mindset of gratitude, we can shift our perspective from resentment and bitterness to appreciation and contentment. Holding on to grudges is a destructive habit that undermines our inner peace and prevents us from moving forward. Through the teachings of Stoicism, we can learn to let go of past grievances, cultivate forgiveness and compassion, adopt a more detached perspective, practice negative visualization, and cultivate a mindset of gratitude. By doing so, we can find closure, inner peace, and a greater sense of fulfillment in life. Number 8. Neglecting self-care. In the hustle and bustle of daily life, it is easy to neglect our own well-being and prioritize the needs of others or external responsibilities. However, neglecting self-care can lead to physical and emotional exhaustion, decreased productivity, and a decline in overall well-being. Stoicism offers valuable insights on how to overcome the habit of neglecting self-care and cultivate a more balanced and fulfilling lifestyle. One of the core teachings of Stoicism is the recognition of the importance of self-care. The Stoics believe that taking care of oneself is not selfish, but rather a necessary foundation for leading a virtuous and meaningful life. By embracing this philosophy, we can shift our mindset from viewing self-care as a luxury to understanding it as an essential aspect of our overall well-being. Stoicism encourages us to prioritize self-reflection and introspection as part of our self-care routine. Taking time to pause, reflect, and connect with our inner selves allows us to gain clarity, recharge, and align our actions with our values. This practice helps us make intentional choices about how we spend our time and energy, ensuring that we prioritize activities that nourish our physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Another Stoic perspective on self-care is the practice of accepting and embracing discomfort. While self-care often involves activities that bring us comfort and pleasure, it also encompasses actions that challenge us and promote personal growth. The Stoics believe that by willingly engaging in discomfort, such as physical exercise or facing fears, we can strengthen our resilience and develop a greater sense of self-mastery. Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of maintaining balance in all areas of life. Neglecting self-care often stems from an imbalance in prioritizing external responsibilities over our own needs. By practicing moderation and setting boundaries, we can ensure that we allocate time and energy for self-care activities that replenish us physically, mentally, and emotionally. Practicing mindfulness can be instrumental in overcoming the habit of neglecting self-care. By cultivating present-moment awareness, we can become more attuned to our own needs and recognize when we are neglecting ourselves. This awareness empowers us to make conscious choices to prioritize self-care and make it an integral part of our daily lives. So, neglecting self-care is a habit that can have detrimental effects on our overall well-being. Through the teachings of Stoicism, we can learn to prioritize self-care as an essential aspect of leading a fulfilling life. By embracing self-reflection, accepting discomfort, maintaining balance, and practicing mindfulness, we can cultivate a lifestyle that nourishes our physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Number 9. Surrounding yourself with toxic people. The people we surround ourselves with can have a significant impact on our mental and emotional well-being. When we surround ourselves with toxic individuals, it can lead to negativity, stress, and a decline in our overall happiness. Stoicism offers valuable insights on how to overcome the habit of surrounding ourselves with toxic people and cultivate healthier relationships. One of the core teachings of Stoicism is the recognition of our own agency in choosing our company. The Stoics believe that we have the power to choose who we associate with, and that it is important to surround ourselves with virtuous and like-minded individuals. By embracing this philosophy, we can become more intentional in selecting our social circle and prioritize relationships that uplift and inspire us. Stoicism encourages us to cultivate self-awareness and discernment when it comes to identifying toxic individuals. This involves paying attention to how people make us feel, observing their behaviors and attitudes, and assessing whether they align with our values. By practicing discernment, we can identify toxic patterns and make informed decisions about the relationships we choose to invest in. Another Stoic perspective on dealing with toxic people is the practice of detachment. While it may not always be possible to completely remove toxic individuals from our lives, we can choose to detach ourselves emotionally from their negativity. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what is within our control, which includes our own thoughts, reactions, and boundaries. By setting healthy boundaries and maintaining a sense of inner peace, we can minimize the impact of toxic people on our well-being. Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of cultivating virtuous qualities in ourselves. By focusing on our own character development and striving to be virtuous individuals, we can attract and build relationships with like-minded individuals. This practice helps create a positive and supportive social environment that fosters growth and well-being. Practicing self-care and self-love can be instrumental in overcoming the habit of surrounding ourselves with toxic people. By valuing our own well-being and prioritizing self-care, we develop a stronger sense of self-worth and resilience. This empowers us to set healthy boundaries, make conscious choices about the relationships we engage in, and attract healthier connections. So, surrounding ourselves with toxic people can have detrimental effects on our mental and emotional well-being. Through the teachings of Stoicism, we can learn to be discerning in choosing our company, practice detachment from negativity, focus on our own character development, and prioritize self-care. By doing so, we can create a positive social environment that supports our growth, happiness, and overall well-being. Number 10. Living in fear. Living in fear can be paralyzing and prevent us from fully embracing life and pursuing our goals and dreams. It can limit our potential and keep us trapped in a cycle of anxiety and worry. Stoicism offers valuable insights on how to overcome the habit of living in fear and cultivate a mindset of courage and resilience. One of the core teachings of Stoicism is the recognition that fear often arises from our own perceptions and interpretations of events. The Stoics believe that it is not the external circumstances that cause fear, but rather our thoughts and judgments about those circumstances. By embracing this philosophy, we can learn to challenge and reframe our fearful thoughts, allowing us to approach situations with a more rational and balanced perspective. Stoicism also encourages us to practice acceptance of the things that are beyond our control. Fear often arises from a desire to control or avoid certain outcomes. By accepting that there are aspects of life that are beyond our control, we can release ourselves from the grip of fear and focus on what is within our power to change or influence. Another Stoic technique to overcome the habit of living in fear is the practice of negative visualization. This involves contemplating worst-case scenarios and visualizing potential challenges or obstacles. By vividly imagining these scenarios, we can develop a sense of acceptance and preparedness, reducing the power of fear over us. This practice also helps us recognize that even in the face of adversity, we have the inner strength and resilience to overcome challenges. Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of cultivating courage and taking action despite fear. Courage is not the absence of fear, but rather the ability to act in spite of it. By embracing discomfort and facing our fears head-on, we can develop a greater sense of self-confidence and expand our comfort zones. This practice allows us to grow and thrive, even in the face of uncertainty. Practicing mindfulness can be instrumental in overcoming the habit of living in fear. By cultivating present moment awareness, we can observe our fearful thoughts without judgment and choose not to be consumed by them. This awareness empowers us to redirect our attention towards the present moment, where we can find a sense of calm and clarity. So, living in fear can hinder our personal growth and prevent us from fully experiencing life. Through the teachings of Stoicism, we can learn to challenge our fearful thoughts, practice acceptance of what is beyond our control, engage in negative visualization to develop preparedness, cultivate courage, and practice mindfulness. By doing so, we can break free from the grip of fear and live a life driven by courage, resilience, and fulfillment. By incorporating these teachings of Stoicism into our lives, we can embark on a transformative journey towards a better life. Let go of procrastination, negative self-talk, dwelling on the past, comparison, overthinking, seeking validation, grudges, neglecting self-care, toxic relationships, and fear. Embrace the wisdom of Stoicism, cultivate resilience, and find fulfillment in the present moment. Remember that true happiness lies within you. It is up to you to seize it.